Hello everybody, it's Limor Weber here with another edition of Lindy Stamp Gang 101 videos. Today I'm going to go through very quickly how to spray properly with a stencil. I know that it doesn't matter what spray you use, sometimes you get bleeding underneath your stencil and it's hard to get a proper image. So today we're going to go through that, and then maybe another little quick tip that I'd like to show you that's really cool. So why don't we go ahead and get started. So I have two stencils here, and they're from the Crafters Workshop. Now it doesn't matter what company they're from, but what I want you to see is the difference between the two. You'll see that there's almost, no plastic on this, whereas this, it's a little bit sturdier, right? Because of the way that the pattern is. So what you'll tend to find is things like this will usually bleed more than something like this. However, let me show you how to avoid that. So what you're going to do is I'm going to use this, this is just a flat Fabio, and I'm using Frenchie's Pink Poof. Give it a quick shake. Now, this is what we usually tend to do that happens. Now, before we actually start that, what I like to show you is I like to take some masking tape that I have. Believe it or not, this is masking tape, as pretty as it is. And I like to go ahead and tape it down a little bit so that it makes my mask or stencil a little bit sturdier. So I'm going to do that. And I am even going to do that right there because it's not on the tag, and so it pastes it down right onto my mat. So if you do that, it works really, really great. Okay, because you can peel this off with no worries. So you don't have to worry about holding it down so much. You still hold it a little bit, but not too much. And then what I like to do is, this is what usually happens. We go ahead and we spray, right? And guess what happens? I guarantee you it's going to bleed underneath, right? We usually get some muddy mess like that. So what happened there is we oversprayed. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift this up and I'm going to stick a different tag underneath, and I'm going to show you how we're not going to get that overspray and that muddy mess that we don't want. Okay, so what you want to do is you actually want to take your hand and you want to almost move it across the page very lightly. Okay, don't overmist. As soon as you overmist, it's going to just spill right underneath. And we can actually go ahead and lift this up and you'll see that wonderful image popping right through. Okay, so depending if there's some spaces that you overmisted a little, they're going to get like that. Okay, now what you'll find with a stencil that is a little bit sturdier, you won't get that as much. So I can actually put this down, and I'm going to just use my fingers to hold it down, but what you'll find is that you can probably add a little bit more and lift, and you won't get that muddy mess because there's a little bit more plastic on the stencil than the other. Okay, so quite a bit better. Now, as a bonus, I just want to show you another very quick tutorial. My stencil's a little bit warped. I think it got heated somewhere. And what I like to do is I like to go ahead and I'm actually just going to spray the stencil. There's nothing underneath, just my craft mat. And let's add some green to it. Okay. And let's do a little bit of blue here and there. Just like that. Okay. And now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take my tag and I'm going to put it right over the top. And what I love about it is that I get this really, really funky image. It's almost like a monoprint, okay? And then what you can do is you can actually go ahead and spray a little bit of water over the top, just like so. And you can take a second tag. Watch this. Ta-da. Okay, so you can have several images, and if you kind of like more of that muddled look, it looks so pretty. So I just thought I'd give you a very quick little tutorial on how I use my stencils aside from the old traditional way. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Have a great day. Bye-bye.